Hope everyone's morning's getting off to a good start, wherever you are in the world. If it is morning, in fact, where you are, because right now it's 9 p.m. where I am. Morning, Jack. Morning, Cora. Martin. Celestial. Depra. Hey, guys. Lee, Arthur. Thanks for joining, guys. We might as well get into it. Today, the idea was to just run through some of my pre-market analysis that I do and just bring it to you guys in a stream. Something that I share in the premium Discord every day. From the daily analysis through to structure. Have a look at the calendar, see what's happening today. Well, if there's any questions, I'll probably try and leave them till the end just so we can get through the bulk of the stream. But first, I thought I should probably introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. Probably not a lot of people know my backstory anyway, but essentially I live in Australia, in Queensland, and for the last 25 odd years I've been plumbing. That's been my career. The last 10 or so years I had a plumbing business, and at the end of June last year I decided that I would take a leap of faith and trade full time. Prior to that I was trading for a couple of years, and then doing the usual chopping changing strategies, had some success, moved around, lost a lot of money, gained some money, just the usual story that all us traders go through when we first get going. And then I stumbled across the unicorn model. I stumbled across Ash's Discord, and I joined the free Discord, and I actually printed out the unicorn PDF 1, and I had it sitting on my desk for some time. And then one day I was just scratching my head going, why, what's not clicking here, And I looked over and I saw the PDF, and I'm like, you know what, it's time I had a look at that. Well, that was the best decision I ever made, because I haven't looked back. And there's been the progression through the free Discord, supporting people in there, and then moving through into premium was one of the best decisions I've made, a business decision. And the support that Ash has given me through my time here, and I'm more than grateful, and highly recommend following and pursuing trading. And if you desire, then joining the premium Discord and maximizing the return on investment. So let's roll into the analysis for today. We'll start. I'll share my screen for a start. Hopefully you can all see that. If I could get a thumbs up, would be awesome. Beautiful, thank you, Cora. We'll jump over to the calendar first, which is where I start my day. So there's actually a little bit of news today, kicking off at 8:15. So a little over an hour from now. 8:30 and then 10 a.m. There's also news at 2, but the market actually closes at 1 today. Closes early, so I'm not sure what sort of price action we can expect this morning. And then tomorrow we've got a bank holiday, so we can pretty much just sit tomorrow out, have a day off. So I generally start my analysis on the Dixie. I trade predominantly futures. Well, I only trade futures, so we may not look at any forex pairs today, but we'll see how we go. We might look at one. So I always start on the Dixie. Dixie's been not ideal with price action, to be fair. It's in this bit of a range, and it's not really giving us too much to go with at the moment. So from a daily perspective, we really just want to wait and see what price delivers here to give us some indication of where we might go. Ideally, I'd like to see these equal highs taken, but again, we're just pushing sideways at the moment with no real direction, so not ideal on the daily there, but we'll flick down to the hourly and have a look, see what the hourly is telling us. Do I find it difficult to trade New York Open from Oz? Sometimes, yes. It's taken me a fair bit of practice, I guess, to get used to not sleeping or sleeping minimally, especially with a 5-year-old boy who likes to wake up at 5:30 in the morning when I'm sort of wrapping up New York at 1 in the morning. So that's fun, but you've got to pursue your passions, right? Yeah, so on the hourly, Dixie really, again, it's pretty sideways, really, this range. Nothing really interests me here, so I'd be considering just to be neutral across the daily and the hourly at this stage on Dixie. So when I decide on a bias, I always come over to my list over here and I give it a color. And if I'm neutral, I always choose purple. Don't ask me why. But it's just a visual indicator that I can quickly go, okay, you know, if I need to remind myself what the bias is that I'm looking at. Yeah, sometimes the young fella comes in and watches me trade, or he asks me, you know, what I'm up to. So he'll be, I'm sure he'll be trading at some point. He's got plenty of time ahead of him. Okay, let's have a look at NQ. Very nice move yesterday pre-NFP week, or NFP Friday, that's for sure. Probably wasn't anticipating such a nice move. So yesterday, I was bullish on NQ. We're still moving from internal to external, and we've actually swept that just now. So moving from internal to external. We also swept this Thursday low here. and we reacted nicely off of that, which also supported my bullish bias. So now is a time to be patient, and we've now swept this external range liquidity. We've got a fair amount of liquidity resting here, and I know this FEG isn't formed yet, but there is liquidity resting here already, so we can now potentially expect price, after we've swept that external, to start looking to retrace. We might retrace 50% of this range as it sits right now, but I would anticipate some retracement back in here, and then even some consolidation waiting for NFP on Friday. And then maybe, we'll see some all-time highs, who knows. So let's jump to the hourly. I don't want to give away too much secret sauce because Ash is in here, but I do like to share some of the market structure tips. So market structure has been quite bullish, and we've continued to, even on the hourly, we're getting lovely unicorns forming. You can see we've got unicorn here, the fair value gap, tiny little gap in there, but it's valid nonetheless. And then we want to have a look at our standard deviations. Is one of the tools I like to use quite regularly in my analysis. We always drag the standard deviations from the leg that took liquidity. So this would be the leg that took liquidity on that bullish unicorn. And what I like about it is the -2 lines up very well with our all-time high. So at the moment, price has reached the -1, the -1 to -2. We're accumulating. I would like to see if we get a push up to the -2, then we'd like to see a close above the -2.5 for any potential continuation. But the -2 to 2.5 is an area that price will likely consolidate and potentially retrace. So that would be my target area at the moment with our bullish bias. Looking at the hourly from today, we're just sideways at the moment. So nothing too exciting there, probably to be expected with an early day today in the markets. So we'll mark this as bullish. And we'll look at ES. Going up to the daily. So on the daily, we had this internal liquidity resting here. Which continued to support price for the last several days. It's supported price. So then we want to look to our external range. So that gives us our bias and tells me that we're bullish, looking for that external. I think we also, if I look at these lows here, we might even have an SMT with NQ. We do. So there is an SMT here as well, a bullish SMT at these lows. So we'd be anticipating for price to reach to our external range liquidity at the highs. We'll have a look down now at the hourly. And again on the hourly here we have just looking to see if we've got structure here. Yep. So I'd be looking at that as the bullish unicorn. We have come down, low, high, low, high, high. That gives us our unicorn. FVG. Be nice if you got hold of that hourly one. Ride that up. Hasn't looked back. We also got a sweep of these lows. So if we run the standard deviation of here, it lines up with our highs. And that's my target area for price to reach into. I try and keep my analysis pretty simple. I don't want to overcomplicate it at all. So I don't try to add too many elements in. Bullish. What's Jack? Jack, are you talking about NQ? Yeah, we can pretend Ash isn't here. You're not here, Ash. Can everyone still see my screen? Okay. Forever casting, you might just have to check your settings, mate. So Jack had a question about food for thought, but I see price in the 4 hour is located in a bearish FEG and swept an ERL. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, okay, this FEG here, Jack. Plus we've swept that swing high, which is what I would be looking at for, like I was saying, for a potential retracement back into, we've got this bullish FEG here. So we'd probably expect to see some retracement back into this level. at CL. So CL swept a swing high, our ERL, and yesterday I pointed out that at the time of my analysis, this was a bullish candle and it didn't have a wick down at that stage. It was still open. So my idea was similar to what I mentioned earlier with NQ, that we do have liquidity resting here. So I was anticipating price to actually reach lower, and reach lower we have, which is great. We have part of an FEG still to be filled down here, and I'm not saying we're going to get there in the next couple of days, but at this stage that would be my internal liquidity that I'd be looking for. There was actually a number of beautiful 5-minute entries on CL last night, but last night for me, but yesterday morning for you guys, but they just didn't fill. There was no, they just ran away. So bearish on the daily. On the hourly, sitting in a bullish FEG at the moment, but we do have a bearish change in the state of delivery. So it's the first moment in time that we see a change in trend, and it does it with displacement here. So we get a nice move lower from this high. If we run our standards from the high to the swing low, we've got a target area, potential move lower. So on the hourly at the moment, although we're being held up at this bullish FEG, if we do break through this, then I would expect, or anticipate rather, price to continue to move lower and seek out this swing low here, these lows. Isn't changing the state of delivery around 83.51, 83.51. So there's a little trick that I learnt. You switch to the line chart and you see it so much better. You can see here, got a little change right here, and then we displace lower. That's how I confirm my change in the state of delivery. Sometimes it just stands out. You can pick it straight away. If you're unsure, flick to the line chart and that'll help you immensely. This is also a level that took liquidity. Solax is NT, that a daily bullish unicorn. What's that on CL? What's the daily context on CL? I'm not sure if you might have missed that, did you, Over? We'll go back to it. That's cool. Um, let's have a look. We're going back there because Solex wants to know if we've got a daily bullish unicorn as well. Okay, so current context on CL. We've swept external liquidity. So I'm looking for external to internal at this stage. That's my internal location. So I'm bearish at the moment on CL. Bullish daily unicorn. Yes. So you know what? If you like to swing trade, maybe you can wait for this retracement. It hits this liquidity, bounces off the bullish breaker, and you take a long from there. We'll see you next year when you've done cashing in all your money. So we're going to mark my little indicator here, green for bullish. We'll have a look at gold. So these are the 5 assets that I analyze every day. Gold has been yuck, in my opinion. Literally, this range has just been a magnet right through the middle here. And even when we break out of it, we end up back there. So at the moment, I'm neutral on gold. And unless it gives us some significant move and can break this high or these lows, ideally, in my opinion, these lows, because we've got some lovely equal lows here. And generally, they're a great draw on liquidity. So I'm not really interested in gold at the moment. I certainly wouldn't take any positions on gold until I have a clear daily bias. So I'll drop down to the hourly now, clear the chart. The hourly is starting to give us something, but again, as I say, it's still in that range. So we've had some consolidation here. Maybe this is some manipulation and we'll see some distribution lower, who knows? I don't know at this stage. I'm not really getting any clear signals from gold right now. But this is certainly the most decisive move we've had in the last few days. Little change in the state of delivery here. But again, I don't know if this will hold. Got a breaker here, but no. It's just so choppy through that breaker as well. So yeah, again, with the daily, I'm not interested in really looking at gold at all. The daily's just giving me nothing, so we're going to sit neutral on gold until we get something. What do we got? Hey Jimmy, what do you think of silver? Okay, let's have a look. Do I use the futures continuous contracts? Do you use the front month contracts for trading only? I actually use both, to be honest. I use the contracts for NQ, the front run contracts for NQ and ES. But if I execute on CL, I use a continuous contract, and the same with gold. I don't really have a preference. Thank you, Ovo. So silver looks like it's just been pushing down, doesn't it? I mean, have a look at this. It just cannot, just failure swing after failure swing on the daily. Lower lows. So we had a sweep of the low here. And we've moved higher off of that. We're probably going to see a similar structure to this candle formation here. Come up and then go down again. Because we've got no liquidity in here to reach into unless it reaches higher and takes out this high here. It's not as sideways as gold, that's for sure. So we pushed through internal here and closed above that. And then that internal also supported price higher. Again, I'd probably be just sitting on my hands and patient with silver at the moment. Have a look at the hourly. So price is starting to be supported higher. An order block supporting price here. And a breaker here. Didn't really do a lot for supporting price. But we broke through it, up, chopped around. But we do have high resistance liquidity on our side of the price. And then we've got this low resistance liquidity on the other side of price. If we were to draw our standard deviations from this level here, which is the leg that swept and took liquidity, this LR lines up nicely with the negative 2.5. We're currently sitting at the negative 2, which again is to be expected. Price likes to pause there a lot of times, consolidate, and then retrace or continue on. So we could actually see potential for more upside on silver, looking at the hourly. Certainly it looks like we have sell side of the curve and moving to the buy side here. Bones, I'd have to check on that for you and get back to you, and I'm happy to do that. I don't, as I say, I don't look at Forex very often, so um, for a correlation with Dixie, I'm not sure, unless someone can answer that. Ash might be able to answer it if he's still here. What do you say if you've got any questions, guys? You want to throw some questions in the chat? That's about as far as I go with my analysis until I start looking for entries. If I was looking at something as for an entry, and I know I wouldn't be looking at gold, but someone shared in the premium group what was a nice bullish unicorn earlier on, but it was outside of hours, so it has actually failed. But it's good to test those sort of things, see how they play out. Look at gold today, though. It's had a nice little run. London low, Asia low, unmitigated. Possible draw on liquidity. Thanks, Ash. So Dixie is inversely correlated to EU-GU. Thanks for answering that. Divergence with CL, you can use UK oil. So you see that over here on my chart. You can use UK oil. So I just wanted to also mention, guys, that if you're not in Ash Capital Premium, I highly suggest looking into it. Consider it a business decision to join. It's not something that you would be disappointed in joining. There's so much value in there. I can't, thanks Jack, see you buddy. I can't say too much right now, but there's some exciting stuff happening with the Ash Capital Premium. The current members are going to be getting access to very soon. It's exciting times, and it's well worth having a look at. I guarantee there's a lot of benefits for you in there. So consider joining the premium Discord, and you just get so much more insight into trading. There's so many levels, psychology, everything that sort of brings profitable trading together. Also, if you guys aren't following Eat More Chicken and Arrow, I highly suggest that. Those two lads are analysts as well, if you didn't already know. The content they provide is unbelievable. So please follow those guys as well. You can always reach out to any one of us. You don't have to hassle Ash all the time. If you want to ask me a question, feel free to DM me or ask a question in general. And I'm always happy to help. We're going to look at streaming regularly. I haven't really decided on a day or a time yet, but we're definitely going to do regular streams. I want to make sure that you guys are getting good value, and I'm happy to look at certain topics. If you want to have a look at certain topics from time to time, or if you just want me to do analysis, that's cool as well. Happy to do that. But if there's any topics you guys are interested in that you want to dig a bit deeper on, throw them in the general chat and just tag me, and I might run a poll, and then we can see what garnishes the most interest, and we can go from there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I greatly appreciate everyone's participation, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm going to end it there, guys. So thanks again, and have a good session today. Remember, it's only a short day. Catch ya.